Today we're going to be practicing more with equations with distributive property. You can look back at your 3.3 notes if you need more help with distributive property. And you can look back at your 3.7 notes if you need more help with two-step equations. We're going to do these first two questions together, and then you're going to do the rest on your own or with a partner, depending on how your class was behaving. So 1, I have -5 parentheses, x minus 6 parentheses equals 15. So whenever I see parentheses, I need to get rid of those first in an equation. And if I have a number on the outside of it, I know that I use distributive property. Remember, the negative stays with the x, just like right here, the negative stays with the 6. So I will multiply -5 times, there's a 1 in front of the x, -5 times 1x and get -5x. And then I'll multiply -5 times -6 to get a +3. And I just bring down the rest of my equation. So our distributive property is taken care of, and now we're ready to solve the equation. So I draw my line at the equal sign. I find my variable is x. On the side of my variable, I cancel out the constant, so I will subtract 30 from both sides. Positive 30 and negative 30, they z out. So I bring down my -5x equals, over here, 15 and -30. One's positive and one's negative, so they will cancel out. The negatives win, and 15 negatives will survive after they get canceled out. Now it's a one-step equation, so I draw my line at the equal sign. Remember, that is -5 times x. Put your dot in there if you need to. So -5 times x, I divide both sides by -5 to cancel that out. -5 divided by -5 is 1. That turns into 1x, which is just x. And -15 divided by -5 is 3. So we get x equals 3. And then don't forget to check your equation. Hopefully my computer will work through the second example. It just wouldn't let me write anything. So here's the check. I had to do it with the text box because it was being weird. So now hopefully we can do example 2. So there's still a 1 there. It's still distributive property because there's parentheses. So I'll do 10 times 1x to get 10x. And then I do positive 10 times -5 to get -50 equals -80. So now I have turned it into a two-step equation. I draw my line at the equal sign. I find my variable is x. I look for a constant. My constant is -50, so I will add 50 to both sides. -50 and positive 50 z out, so I will get 10x equals -80 and positive 50, they cancel out, so I will get -30 left after they cancel out. Now it's a one-step equation. So there is multiplication, and in between that 10 and that x. So to cancel multiplication, I will divide both sides by 10. 10 divided by 10 turns into a 1, so we'll just get x equals -30 divided by 10 is -3. And then don't forget to check your answer, but also at the top, you can find your answer. So our first answer was 3. So I see that I had 3 and it was what? So question 1, I need to put the word what in. And then question 2 was -3. Which is it. Now you are going to, why will that not get out of the way? I told you my computer doesn't like me today. So now you're going to finish the back part of this worksheet, put your answers in the riddles, and then you can use your computer and check the QR code to see what the answer to the riddle is.